Hey, it's Mr. D, the band teacher, back again for a lesson on the alto saxophone solo Arioso by the composer J.S. Bach. The transcription that I'm going to be using is the one that's by Eugene Rousseau, the famous classical saxophonist Eugene Rousseau. You might want to do a little private study on your own to see who Eugene Rousseau was and how he contributed to the classical saxophone genre. Let's get this lesson moving along here. You're going to need your saxophone and the original copy of music that you purchased at a music store. And the way this lesson is going to work is I'm going to show you some things in the music that I think you need to work on. And then you and I will play together. You're going to get your instrument out, and we will go back and forth. And you're going to work with me on the parts I think you should work on. So let's move the camera over to the music, and let's take a look at Arioso. Okay, again, Arioso is J.S. Bach, the Eugene Rousseau. You want to look that name up, like I said. But just a couple things worth noting in this music. You'll see this rhythm a lot. Half note tied to a single eighth note. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. You want to make sure that you hold this out for its full value. Lots of dynamics. You do have a first and second ending. In my performance video, that you will hopefully click on later on, I do the repeat. Section B definitely needs some work. I'm actually going to devote a second video to B and through C section, and part of D as well. B through D needs lots of work. You're going to want to look up this terminology: MF, mezzo forte, forte, crescendo, poco a poco to forte. You're going to crescendo little by little to forte. And then poco retardando, which means to gradually get slower and softer. You have a double piano here. That's crazy. It's so soft at the end. This melody, you probably will observe, is similar to the one that's on the very beginning. That's at the very beginning. And then you have this kind of neat ending here. You have some accidentals, a dotted quarter note, single eighth note, a trill. That trill starts on G and goes to F sharp. And you trill back and forth quickly. And then you have the fermata at the end. All right? So what we're going to do in this video is devote our attention to the beginning to around section B and then E to the end. Okay? So let's get our saxophone out, set up your music by your stand, and let's get going here. Okay, so we are back again. And I'm going to grab my saxophone and my neck strap. And let me play a little bit of section A. So you're going to want to look at your music while I play. And notice again that rhythm issue that I discussed when I showed you the song. It's the half note tied to the single eighth note. So you're going to go like this. So remember, the dotted half note tied to the single eighth note, you want to hold it out for more than a half a beat. So let me, more than a half note. It's going to be 2.5 beats. Let me play that first measure for you. Okay, also the transcriber, Mr. Rousseau, deliberately put in breath marks in special areas, certain areas. As a transcriber, he felt that the phrases need to be indicated with a breath mark. There's certain phrases that he wanted you to make sure that you do correctly. So don't try to take a breath after every measure. You're going to want to extend the phrase along, a musical sentence, from breath mark to breath mark, or breath mark to rest. Okay, so let's start at A now. I'm going to play that melody for you. Just take a listen to it. Couple quick things on section A. Right before the first ending is a dotted quarter note C sharp slur to a D. I don't know if you saw, but I like to keep my third finger down on that C sharp. It just makes the C sharp a little less like nasally, a little bit warmer. So I'm going to keep the third finger down. All right, you try. Keep your third finger down on the C sharp. Ready to go. And again, you have that dotted quarter note, so it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4. Make sure you observe the accidental and keep the accidental going in the entire measure. That whole section A has a C sharp in the measure, so you want to make sure that you are definitely observing that. Okay, so let me play a little bit of, now we're going to jump down to E. Now E is similar to the beginning, but remember the dynamic level is really, really soft. Okay, we're kind of winding the piece down as you get further along. And so you're going to want to play that melody really soft. So you're thinking warm, warm air, a rich sound. You don't want to play this composition really loud. It's not like a cranking jazz piece. It's a sort of a smaller piece. So let me play a little bit of the E section. F natural now, first finger F. And another one there, which brings us to section F. And here's where we kind of wind the piece down. We're getting louder through section F and also slower. That trill, again, is going to start on the G and trill back and forth. Trill, which means to move the note, finger in the key back and forth really fast. Start on G quick and go right to the F sharp. Do it again. Also worth mentioning is the slurring and tonguing patterns. Look at section F there. You have slurs, and then tongue, and then another tongue. Okay, so this solo, these sections that I went over so far, the solo is listed as andantino with expression, expressively playing, but the composition is going to go slower. So you want a beautiful, warm phrases and sound out of your saxophone. As you go higher, you want to kind of pull back a little bit, really open up your throat, fill the saxophone up with a lot of air. The phrases are long and lyrical. They're not choppy like you would see in a fast composition. Okay, now my second video, we're going to go over B and C section, okay? So I will catch you on part 2 of this video. In the meantime, keep practicing. If you have any questions, go to the contact page listed at the top of my website, or if you're viewing this on YouTube, you're more than welcome to email me, or if you're one of my private students, just see me, and I will be more than happy to talk to you about Arioso. All right, so I'll see you in part